What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. This is your host, John Henry. Going to cut to the chase this week. We've got a very special interview with Red Dirt country legend, living legend, pioneer, Cody Canada of Cody Canada and the Departed, as well as the founding member of Cross Canadian Ragweed. Very happy to speak with him. You're going to see that here in just a minute. And you are watching this or listening to this and seeing the clips of this on Wednesday, June 5th. And tonight at the Golden Record, you can catch Cody Canada solo in a special seated acoustic show with Hunter Peebles. We have a limited amount of seated tickets left, so I would recommend that you get those if you want to go. Next week, we have another killer show. You need to get tickets to this. Trust me, some of you have heard of them, some of you have not, but you all should go nonetheless. It is Driving and Crying with Abe Partridge as support. That's at the Golden Record on June the 13th. That is going to be insane. Really good. Southern rock mixed with punk. It's like if the Replacements were born in Georgia. Or maybe if Driving and Crying were born in Minneapolis. That's what the Replacements sound like. You tell me, chicken or the egg. Music is music, man. Who really gives a shit what we label something? If it makes you feel good, you should listen to it. At least that's what I think. And right before we go into this Cody Canada interview, I believe he was on the bus. That was my impression. Just rolling down the open highway. But I mentioned it briefly in the podcast here, but he and his band were so great to us. We did a week of dates with them, with Cody Canada and the Departed in like 2011. I think it was like 2011, and then we did the year before that. We did like a last run of shows with Cross Canadian Ragweed. We did the pageant. We did this big thing in like Red Dirt Revival, or not Red Dirt Revival, but some type of big ass one day festival at the Beaumont Club in KC, and that was insane. I remember that was like one of the first shows that we got like our own full green room and hospitality, and we had like 2 bottles of Jameson, which at the time was like basically all we wanted besides gas money. I mean, besides the shows, but yeah, we felt good. I'm going to dig up a clip for that. I have some backstage show footage from that way back in the day. It's pretty cool, but I'm getting off the point. The point is, the first show we played with them was at the Blue Note, and I broke an electric guitar string like in the second song. Cody gave me his guitar to play for the rest of the set, and then they restrung mine and gave it back to me. It was really cool. And then when we did dates with the Departed, a lot of times touring bands get like a day room at a hotel for showers or whatever it is, but they don't need it at night if they're going to be sleeping on the bus. So they would give us their 1 or 2 day rooms, like on that whole like run of dates we did with them. So, when you're a support band and you're getting paid $250 and you've got 5 dudes and a buddy coming along helping with merch, it's tough, and every little thing is easier, and they did a really huge thing for them. So please enjoy this interview. I demand that you enjoy this interview. He's a really sweet guy, and I think it comes across in this interview as well. And we hope to see you at the show. Come say hello. Check out the interview. Cody Canada on the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. So how are you, man? How are things been going?
Things are good. I haven't there's any dates on the books this year. Just playing back a little bit so I can be home with the family. But summertime hits, so I like to go north. So this will be the busiest part of my year.
Good. Yeah, we have you coming here on Wednesday, June the 5th, for as you mentioned, an acoustic show. And I just kind of wanted to ask you, when you're approaching acoustic dates like this, is there a different way that you approach them compared to, say, full band shows?
You know, I honestly, it sounds strange, but I get this ball of anxieties for these acoustic shows because I mean, I really started off acoustic, not full band when I started. But when you have a full band thing, you can just roll right into it, song to song, loud guitars. But with an acoustic guitar, you have to really entertain and talk to people and tell stories. And so I usually start making a set list about a week before. There's the staples that I need to do and that I want to do, but there's also tunes I like to bring out that I haven't done in a long time, and tell the stories behind them and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that the people the show is selling well, and you have such a huge catalog that when you go to pick these songs out, I'm sure it could get challenging. If you wanted to present them, say, in a different light or in a different fashion, when you're going through, um, do you kind of think along those lines?
Yeah, I think. Well, what are the songs that are in my set every night full band? Okay, I have to do half of those, and then I start relearning some older tunes, or maybe not even that much older, but just tunes that I don't usually have in my full band set, just so it's a little more variety for folks that have been coming out in the last couple of years.
And physically, do you find it to be easier vocally or on your body in general when you're more relaxed?
Oh yeah, yeah. The acoustic. I end up singing more songs for the acoustic runs, but I mean, I take care of myself a lot better than I used to, so I can make it through several shows. Um, but yeah, I mean, just either sitting or standing there in one spot, and because I'm very fortunate that I can still move around. I'm getting older, and I did a lot of shit back in my younger days that probably should keep me from moving as much as I do. But I it definitely is more relaxing and stuff, and a lot of times we roll in 2 hours before doors, go in and set up, and then just go walk around town. So it's very relaxing to go out on acoustic line.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's interesting to hear. I was curious to hear how your preparation and the way you look at those shows might differ from a full band show. Um, back I was going to tell you this story about you and your crew, and my band and I did some dates with you back in the day. We did a string of dates, and it was one of our first kind of runs, like as a support for a nationally touring artist.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were so incredibly kind to us. You welcomed us on the bus like the first day. You gave us your hotel room that you used during the day that you didn't need for us to sleep in. Um, could not be nicer. Your whole crew, Joel, Brian, back in the crew that was with you when we were doing those dates, were just
Mm-hmm.
really wonderful to us, and it stems from you, obviously. And it it was a huge thing for us as a young band to see how, wow, this is how you treat bands when you're moving up the chain. So thank you for that, and that went a
Yeah.
long way with us. It meant a lot.
Well, there's a guy named Ian Moore that I'm sure you know. I was a huge fan of him when I was a teenager, and he really helped me find the sound that I was looking for that I didn't really know I was looking for. I was just, playing covers and stuff, and um, I followed him around, before I was even 18 years old, and I got to meet him one night, and I was like, "Man, you're so nice." And he was like, "Man, you're gonna find out that it gets you a lot further in this business." And then, 5 or 6 years after that, we were on the road heavy, and the Willie Nelson family. I mean, we would make $300 a night opening for them, and then they would give us a brown paper bag full of cash and a hotel room and pot and or whatever, just to say thanks. And I don't know, that just goes a long ways. We're all of us are not guaranteed how long we're going to be here, but might as well have fun, be kind to one another while we do it.
Well, it certainly was felt by myself and my group at the time, and yeah, it was just nice to see. Definitely taking what you're saying of, the kind of band that's maybe a generation older than you passes down what to do when you're on the road and how to treat people, but ultimately it stems from the artist. So that was a great
Mm-hmm.
experience for us. Um,
Good.
as we talk about red dirt country, and I think it's kind of a hard thing to completely define because there are many elements to it. But I wanted to see if there's some artists currently in the younger crop of Oklahoma, Texas, red dirt country, however we want to define it, that you're really feeling good about or you're, a big fan of personally.
I don't really have to talk a whole lot about Wyatt Flores because Wyatt is definitely blazing a trail already. But he is definitely one from Oklahoma, Stillwater, Oklahoma, that is proved himself as a songwriter and as an entertainer. When it comes to the Texans, I really can't get enough of Gracie York and Tanner Ursey. I mean,
Hmm.
and they're really good pals, which is really awesome. They do a lot of stuff together. But I had a talk with Gracie. I played in Stephenville, Texas, a few weeks ago, and I've been talking to her, and um, it was funny because Gracie was cool and laid back, and she's like 21 or 22, very calm, cool, collective, super great songwriter. That I met her mom and made me feel old because her mom was pretty excited to meet us, and her mom's my age, and she'd been coming to shows for years, and
Right.
it was really sweet. It was, but they just I talked to her about it, and talking about how there are, and there's no, I've obviously no names, and there's not a whole lot of them, but there's folks that are intimidated by the next generation of music that's coming out. They either haze them or don't treat them 100% correctly, in my opinion. Um, but I told her, that anytime, and Tanner, anytime that we do gigs together, you can use our gear, you can use anything but my guitar, and if you really really need it, I'll probably say yeah. But you just got to take care of one another. I mean, we're all pushing towards the same goal.
Right.
And Tanner and Gracie and Wyatt, Lance Rourke
Yeah.
from
Very cool.
Tahlequah area. I mean, those are the good ones. I mean, these are the people that they don't want to. It's not about being famous. I always thought being famous was such a shitty goal to have. I mean, if you want to do that, that's cool, whatever. But that's not where I come from. Writing songs that make you feel better, that make other people feel better is really where I've always been since I was a teenager, and I still am. And I think that's the way Tanner and Gracie and Wyatt and Lance are. They want to write music that makes a difference. They want people to hear a song that they relate to. And songs that you might be going through the exact same thing that songwriter was at the same time. And it helps you with your process.
Yeah, I think that's seems like the correct and the right attitude to have. And you never know what, the music business can be so fickle in which artists are popular when, and you never know all the way. So it's like,
Yeah,
sometimes the openers are flipping and they're the headliners, and it's better to be kind on all those levels, it would seem,
yeah,
than to do it the other way.
yeah. I mean, 25 years ago, I opened up for Jack Ingram in Dallas, and then no more than 6 months later, Jack was opening for us, and it I at the time it sure didn't seem like he was very happy about it. I'm sure he's over it and everything by now, but that same venue, I've opened up for Co Wetzel. I mean, it just
You never know.
and no, you never know, and I'm not going to dog on somebody for having success. I mean, I
Uh,
know it happened. It happened with us. Back in the day. We went what seemed like overnight was really 7 years to get people to listen to us, but there were certain folks that think that we worked hard enough, we even deserved it. But man, everybody's got their own way in this business. Not my way is kindness.
Well, that comes through, and we really appreciate you taking the time out to do this pod with us, and we're
Yeah,
looking forward to your show tonight, or it's actually tomorrow, but I don't, we'll get this out before then, but
yeah,
Wednesday at the Golden Record, uh, Cody Canada solo show. Very excited. Look forward to saying hello and just kind of hanging out and enjoying your set.
yeah, buddy. Thank you for having me, and thanks for letting me do this.
And I think you'll enjoy the opener a lot too. He's a great songwriter from here in town, Hunter Peebles. So
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
think you'll enjoy that. Very cool stuff. Really good guy. So I think it'll be a great night. And just, yeah, thank you again so much. And look forward to meeting with you and hanging out.
All right, brother. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the years of the support.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed listening to that, watching that as much as I did doing it, because he's a good dude and it comes across. Huge collection of songs. His music and his band's music has spawned what is now the next generation of red dirt, Oklahoma, Texas country, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Music is music, and I love it. Thank you for joining me, John Henry, on the Backstage at Open Highway Podcast. See you next time.